So, solving systems of linear inequalities guided notes. It's our last set of notes for Unit 6. They're going to be very similar to 6.7 notes, except for this time, you're going to have a system of inequalities instead of just one inequality, okay? So, step 1, you're going to solve for y. You have to make sure that each inequality is in slope-intercept form, okay? You guys know how to do that. Step 2, is it going to be a solid or dashed line? Well, how do we know? It's a solid line if they're what signs? How do I know when I'm going to graph a solid line?
It's greater than or equal to.
Greater than or equal to, or good. So that's going to be a solid line. It's going to be a dashed line then if it's just greater than or less than. Okay? Now, you plot the y-intercept, you apply the slope, then you shade above or below. You shade above if it's what kind of sign? False. What I want you guys to use for this, because I think, one, it's going to cause you less work. Instead of making test points for both inequalities and having to test it, following this will make it less work on you. So, who has their 6.7 notes handy? Who has their 6.7 notes handy?
I got these 6.8 ones.
So it says to shade above if it's a certain kind of sign.
Positive.
No. Emily's got it. If it's, what kind of sign is that?
That one? Greater?
Yeah, a greater than. So you're going to shade above the line if it's greater than.
Wait, so I don't gotta plug in the points?
I'm not going to make you do test solutions on these. It'll take a lot of extra time. So you're going to shade below the line if it's what?
Positive.
Okay. So those are the main things that you need to know. We're going to do 6 example problems together, okay? So let's take a look at the first example problem. So you have y is less than negative 3x plus 2, and y is greater than or equal to x minus 1. So if I'm looking at step 1 here, sorry, I'm looking at your sheet here, chance. So if I'm looking at step 1, it says solve for y. Are these already written in slope-intercept form? Yeah, so I don't have to solve for y. They're already written in slope-intercept form. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to graph this one first, okay? So I'm going to graph my first inequality in slope-intercept form. So I come to my origin, and then I graph what? Up 2 for my y-intercept. And then what's my slope?
Over 3 left.
How about, no. Remember, slope is rise over run. So do I go up or down for a negative 3? Down 3, 1, 2, 3, and then to the right 1. I'm going to do that again. 1, 2, 3, over 1. Okay? So then I'm going to graph my line. When I go to graph this line, is it going to be dotted, dashed, or solid? Dashed or solid?
Dashed.
It's going to be a dashed line. And you guys know on this, mine are not going to be wonderful. So make sure your dashed lines are wonderful.
Oh, that's great.
There's got to be a better way to do this.
Use a ruler.
Are you think it'll work on this, or we'll try it? Because I can't handle it. No, it's still. I need one of those tip pens. Yeah, I don't have a stylus. Drives you nuts. Okay. Well, you guys' lines better be pretty. Do not make your line look like mine, because it's so ugly. Does anybody have a stylus? I don't have one.
Go to Dollar Tree in Troy.
Is that all I gotta do?
They're $1.
They're $1? That's it?
Yeah. It's Dollar Tree, everything's $1.
I was being a smart aleck.
Everything's $1.
Everything's $1. Okay, sorry, I'm getting my colors here.
Cheetos, so good. That's like my place to go.
Did you know the Dollar Tree does not do returns?
Yeah.
Yeah, I learned that.
They give you credit on that.
Yeah, they give you credit only. Okay, thank you, sorry. Okay, so now looking at our sign, it's saying y is less than, right? So if y is less than, am I going to cover color shade above or below?
Well,
So I'm going to shade above. Are you sure on that? If it's saying it's less than, I shade where? Below. So I'm going to shade below my line. So this entire thing over here, below my line, I am going to shade. So I'm shading below my line. So use one colored pencil to shade below that line. Okay. Then we're going to graph our next one. So our next inequality is y is greater than or equal to x minus 1. So I go to my origin, my y-intercept is negative 1, and my slope is 1 over 1. What kind of line is this going to have? Dashed or solid?
Solid.
So it's going to be a solid line. So much better. Even though it didn't go through my points, but so much better looking. Okay. Now, it's saying y is greater than x. So if it's greater than, do I shade above or below my line?
Above.
Above my line. So I'm going to use my other colored pencil, and I'm going to shade the entire area above my line here. So the solution to this answer is where both parts of your line, where they're shaded, okay? So the solution is the space where your two colored pencils overlap. So that's all you have to do. Does that make sense?
That's where your order pair is? What is that?
That's the solution, where the two colors overlap.
I wish we had.
I don't like the grade of the last.
Are you a little OCD? Yeah. My son accused me of that last night because I yelled at him 10 times because the candle wasn't in the exact spot I told him to. Because I had it placed where it should have been. Okay.
They moved it.
Oh, he always moves all my stuff. I think he does.
That's how my little brother's on. They moved my computer.
Oh, it drives me crazy.
Whole computer.
Okay.
A PC too.
The whole computer?
I have a PC, and so they took the whole thing and moved it into the living room. While I was at wrestling last
I would have lost my
I
mind.
fought somebody.
Okay, here we go.
Punched him in the face.
Step 1. Solve for y and put in slope-intercept form. Do I have to put one of these inequalities in slope-intercept form? Maddie? Yeah, the top one. So I'm going to have to solve for y in the top inequality here. So I have 8x plus 4y is less than or equal to 12. Okay. If I'm solving for y, I'm getting the y by itself. So what do I get rid of here? So I'm going to subtract 8x from both sides. Do you guys all feel confident on this step right here? Getting the y by itself. Are there any questions on this step right here? Okay. How do I get the y by itself?
Every single box shaded in.
Not at 8. How do I get the y by itself? What do I have to get rid of?
What is the divide?
Yeah, divide by 4. So I'm going to divide each side by 4. So y, I don't have to flip my inequality sign because it was a positive. And it's, what's negative 8x divided by 4? Negative 2x. And then what's positive 12 divided by 4?
Negative 3x. No, just 3x.
12 divided by 4?
3.
How about just 3? No x, right? And it's a positive because these are both positives. Okay? So let's go ahead and graph it. So I go to my origin. My y-intercept is 3, so I go up 3. My slope is negative 2. So I go down 2 to the right 1, down 2 to the right 1. And what kind of line am I going to have here?
Solid.
A solid line. So I have my solid line. Now, this is where we come back and we look at our inequality sign. What kind of inequality sign do I have here?
Less than.
Less than. So am I going to shade below or above? If it's less than, I shade below. So where does that mean I'm going to shade here? The bottom part of it, right? So I'm going to shade below it. I can make that bigger. Oh, so much better. So I'm shading below here.
Oh, you got a fatter one.
I did. It was taking me forever. I definitely enjoyed shading on the guided note worksheet better. Okay. Still not perfect, but it's close enough. Okay. The second inequality here, it's already in slope-intercept form. So I'm going to, ooh. I bet that was supposed to say something else. Okay. I don't know if I had it on there. Oh. You guys, you know what that's supposed to say? That my computer at home didn't do? What do you think that 12x should be? A half. Okay.
Alright, well, we already wrote it.
Just put your half. Put your little dash in between the 1 and 2. That'll work. Okay. So we're going to go to positive 2, just right underneath the other one. And then my slope is 1 over 2, 1 over 2. And what kind of line am I going to have? It's going to be a dashed line with arrows. And then my sign is greater than. Because it's greater than, I'm going to shade above or below. My sign is greater than. Do I shade above or below? Above.
Do we have an assignment?
No, we're just going to do notes with no assignment.
Okay, I'm coming.
Josh, you think I'm serious?
I wish.
Josh.
Have we ever done notes in here and not gotten us?
homework.
Oh, you are getting homework.
I want.
Okay, okay. I'm like, are we on the same page here? Yes, ma'am.
After notes, can I get a drink?
We'll see.
After notes, can I do
Can I
this?
see a whole stack of
We'll see.
the whole stack of homework? Can I see that?
You want the whole stack of homework?
Yeah, can I see that?
No.
Yo, I'm down if you move my grader from there.
Do we all have this down?
Well, I have the other one down. So
I'm not gonna lie, I was a little frustrated when I came into you guys today, but I really missed you. Okay, here we go.
Not gonna lie, I was pretty confused whenever I couldn't do the quizzes.
Because you're the only one that had yours in. I was really confused when you told me it was in Russian.
I was confused too. I opened it and it was in Russian. I was like,
But nobody else's was.
anybody else is in Russian?
No. I think they're just agreeing with you to like try to make me more confused.
No, like mine was
No,
really
just
in
you.
Russian, though.
Just you. Okay.
I don't have my thing in Russian. I can't read Russian.
All right. Step 1. Slope-intercept form. They're both already in slope-intercept form, right? The y is already by itself. Wonderful. So we don't have to solve. We're going to go ahead and start by just graphing. So my y-intercept is that number by itself, that 1. So I go to my origin. I go up 1. I plot that point.
Ready to go up 1 on 1.
Up 1 over 1. I like to have 3 points, so I'm going to do it again. Up 1 over 1. And what kind of line am I going to have? Solid.
I wrote it the wrong way.
Okay? Now, my inequality sign is less than or equal to.
Below.
So I'm going to shade below. Very good.
I'm excited.
How do you guys feel about this?
Wait, dotted? Or is it?
It's a Oh, come on. You have to be able to tell that that's solid.
How come you can't just put all the problems on the paper?
Oh, I don't know. I don't
so we
know.
don't work ahead.
There we go.
I don't work in.
Neither do
I don't either, because I don't know how to do that stuff.
I. Me too.
Now, if I did have the opportunity right now, I'd probably work ahead. But I
Well,
don't.
there we go. All right, next one. Y is greater than 2. What is my y-intercept? 2. Do I have a slope?
1 over 1.
No. Is there a variable x there?
No.
So do I have a slope?
No.
Okay, since I graphed it on the y-intercept, what kind of line am I going to draw? Horizontal. And is it going to be solid or dashed?
It's gonna be
Dashed.
although you can't see my dash because it's a black line. Oh, it goes that way.
Just draw it thicker.
No, I was going wrong.
Okay?
Oh, jeez, I did this on the right.
Now, it says greater than. It's greater than. So am I going to shade above or below my line? Above.
God, darn it, it's low.
My guy, there's notes says.
So your solution is where the two colors overlap, correct? So you really want to make that evident of where your two colors overlap. Candace, yours is really good. Mine's hard to show on mine.
I accidentally shaded way more than I should have. I shaded that little corner piece right there because I wasn't paying
Yeah,
attention.
no. You would not get a good grade in coloring abilities today. On your quiz, you'd actually get points off, though, because you did not shade the correct part. So make sure on your quiz and on your homework, you pay attention. It's erasable.
Oh, sorry. Actually, it seems not to be. I should be able to erase it, so
Okay, next one.
I tried.
Do I keep A for coloring?
We'll talk about that. You might need the extra A.
Yeah, I really do.
I know.
Um,
We'll talk. We'll figure something out.
but my coloring is pretty dang.
Okay, this one is really supposed to be a 12. I promise. Okay? No, I'm double checking. I promise. That's a promise I don't break. Okay, so step 1, I can go ahead and graph that. It's already in slope-intercept form. So I'm going to find my y-intercept, which is 7. You can go ahead. Oops, went up. There we go. And my slope, somebody told me, was 1 over 1. Solid or dashed?
It's dash.
And what's my inequality sign? Greater than, so I'm going to shade above. Good. Good. Now, the problem with my second inequality is what? Not simplest form, slope-intercept form. Good. So we are going to have to get this y by itself. How do I do that? No. No. Why can't it be 9x? There you go, negative 3x plus 12. I can't combine those because those are not like terms. Okay? Divide by 6. Because it is not a negative, I do not have to worry about switching my inequality sign. So y is less than, simplify it.
1/2.
So negative 1/2 x. Then what?
Minus.
No?
Plus 2.
Plus 2 because they're both positives. Good. All right. Questions? Please let me know. Do you have questions on how we got this?
No, it's pretty easy.
Okay. All right, let's graph it. Go up 2. My slope is negative, so down 1 to the right 2.
It
Did you know it's works at
Dashed or solid, another dashed line.
Did you know it's works at that?
Nope, now's not the time to do it. Now's not the time to talk about it. Oh, wait. Y is less than. So do I shade above or below? Below. So here, The solution is this itty bitty space right in there. Makes a triangle. We're getting there. Flip it over. 2 more to go. How are you guys feeling about this? If I gave you your homework assignment, thumbs up if you would be able to do it mostly on your own. Thumbs in the middle if you'd probably have like 5 questions. And thumbs down if you would just stare at it and have drool come out of your mouth because you have no idea what to do.
Well,
Okay.
it wouldn't be drool, it would more like be eating food, wondering why I didn't try.
Kind of like me yesterday sitting on the couch eating my Cheez-Its. Yeah. Okay, let's take a look. Thank you. All right, here we go. Oh, look, I'm so nice again. Why am I so nice again? Well, yeah, but what about this problem?
We can solve it easily. We can, whatever it's called.
Because it's already in whatever it's called. What does that mean? It's already in what? Slope-intercept form. So let's just start graphing. My y-intercept is 2, so I go up 2. Up 2 over 1. Up 2 over 1. What kind of line am I going to have here? Dotted. Dashed. Dotted. And my inequality sign is less than. So shade above or below?
It's below.
That is correct. Come on. Let's go.
I'm awake.
Can you set your head up for me then?
What?
Will you set your head up for me then? Thank you. Okay. Let's graph my next line. Oh my.
If it's a negative x, would it be negative 1 over negative 1? Or negative 1 over positive 1?
It'd be negative 1 over 1.
Okay.
Okay, so my y-intercept is negative 3, so I'm going to count down 3 here. And then Josh had a good point. My slope is going to be negative 1 over 1, so that means I'm going to go down 1 and to the right 1. And what kind of line am I going to have for this one?
Above. Oh.
Solid, right? And then based on my sign, somebody already answered that question for me, I'm going to shade above. So my solution is where the 2 regions overlap one another. Yes?
What?
Oh, I thought you...
No, I was just trying.
Okay.
Let me guess, you want us to try the last one? Or
No. I don't.
why not?
Because I think it's number 1 on your homework I want to look at together. Okay. Let's graph it. So down 4.
Wait, we don't write it down.
1 over 1. 1 over 1. What kind of line do you have? Okay. Where am I going to shade? Above or below? Above. Okay. You're welcome. Okay, so my second inequality, the y is not by itself. It's not in slope-intercept form, so we need to go ahead and get that into slope-intercept form. So I want to get the y by itself. So what do I get rid of? So I do that by subtracting. So when I go to rewrite my inequality in slope-intercept form, it's going to be y is less than or equal to what? Perfect. Okay. Now we can graph it. So my y-intercept is a positive 2. My slope, negative 2 over 1. Okay, what kind of line am I going to have? A cool one, I hope so. But is it going to be a cool dash or a cool straight? Solid. Hopefully it's straight. I meant to say solid. I'm having problems with this cool, straight, solid line, though. Okay. And am I going to shade above or below? Below?
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
We could use colored pencils on our
Yes.
Yep.
These can... Don't say I never gave you guys anything.
That's not
Shoot, we